What's good? What's good? Reg Dog is in the building. First one in the building. Magnum 1017 was good. J Lord. Let's get the likes up, y'all. As y'all walk in, hit the like button. Ravish. Alan Muhammad. Kiwan Hitter. Eric Kwan was good. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, it's early, bro. It's 12 o'clock where I'm at. Yep. True and real. What up, Arthur? What up? Yeah, it's early, man. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We started noon time. It's early today, man. Exactly. I agree, Eric. OKC messed up big time at the trade deadline. See, let me tell you, teams like that getting cute, right? Because what you don't want when you have opportunity, if I'm gonna put myself if I'm watching the league, right, and I go like this, right? I go, okay, I didn't have one player, Chet Holmgren, that missed all last year. Look at his height, his body frame. It shoots out them guys like that normally have injuries, right? But you got Chet Holmgren coming in, playing good. Already a great shot blocker. He playing excellent. He playing an 82 game schedule. He's paper thin. You look at your roster, you don't have much. You don't have much. So this is why I don't get with these GMs. And Sam Presti's definitely been a good GM, but I think they have enough draft capital. I think they have enough of assets where they could have still did something and it wouldn't hurt anything. I honestly think they had enough to where they could have did something and it still didn't hurt. I'm thinking that they held out for a particular player. You know, I think they did that. I think they took the role. Like, listen, we ain't gonna put all our chips in. We're gonna just wait and see. I think they had more of a wait and see approach. But I think you got a chance. I'm not saying you make they ain't really had to make a. You know, I'm not saying make a trade where you trading your core piece. I think they had enough, especially when you had a guy like Davis Bertans was making $17 million. So you had that. You had the golden chip of Davis Bertans making 17, $18 million. Plus, you could have pretty much added anybody with him and got a $20 million player. You get Gordon Hayward, and then you don't get Gordon Hayward no playing time, and then that wasn't you didn't really need Gordon Hayward was probably most likely would have got brought out. This is why I don't get with OKC. OKC, let's look at their roster, right? Let's say okay, we got expiring contract and Davis Bertans. I think Bertans making about $18 million, I believe he's making. Right. So you had expiring contract and Davis Bertans. Right. And then you could have said, okay, I really ain't too crazy about Kendrick Williams contract. It's not a lot, but he gonna average out like $7 million a year. He has a few years left on his contract. I think we could package him with Davis Bertans. So now we giving up a decent player that's only getting making $7 million. Then you got an expiring contract, and then you could throw a first round pick in there. So now you giving up pretty much three solid pieces. Like you giving up Davis Bertans, a guy that's expiring contract. That's solid. Kendrick Williams decent. Uh, Kendrick Williams he decent. $7 million it's a team I could use it, but then a first round pick, you could have did damage with that. You could have really did damage with that package there. So now you got around like 25 million in salary with a first round pick you giving up. You could have did some damage with it. And then you cut the Poke Pozowski, the guy with the long neck, which is good. So he's expiring. He was expiring a contract. So you just cut him, right? OKC could have literally just had this is what I would have did at OKC. Let's say if you kept Kendrick Williams. So now you have Poskowski, he like 6'10. He's good to me. He's solid. And you have Batons. You got about $25 million in salary, right? And then with a first round pick, so you give him an expiring contract, you could have got something and still got um and still got it still could have got what's his name? You still could have got um Gordon Hayward. You still could have got Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward 9 times 10 got brought out. And it was too many teams was going to get him. You did that. I don't get it. And then he don't get no minutes. You could have got him on a buyout and 25 million. Now you could have got some help. You could even got two guys for that 25 million. You could have got about 2 guys at $25 million. I just don't get it. I don't get that one. They dropped the ball because you could have got another big body. You could have got another big body that starts. You could have actually got like, you know what I'm saying? You could have got a big body that start. And you put him, now you're taking the pressure off of Chet Holmgren. Even if you did something like this, let's say they did something like this, right? They'd picked up Daniel Gafford, had Daniel Gafford and Chet Holmgren. You could have did that. You could have literally, I think a trade like that with a first round, you could have literally probably got, if you'd have did this, let's say OKC did this. Let's say OKC would have said, okay, I give you Trae Mann, Pahowski, and Davis Bertans, and a first round pick. I think you could have got Daniel Gafford and Trae Jones. I think you could have got Trae Jones and Daniel Gafford for that package right there for Trae Mann, Podolsky, and Bertans. Even if you said give him, you could have easily did that. Easy. And you know how good your team now. You got a real good backup point guard that he could play with Shea a lot. You know what I'm saying? So now it would have helped you. You look at that team, and still got Gordon Hayward on a buyout. You could have put together a real title championship team. I would have gave up one of my first round picks. I would have gave him Goffett. I would have gave him Pahowski, Davis Bertans, Trae Mann for a first round pick. Even if I'd gave one of them second round, who cares? And look at that team. Look at that team they could have had. Now your starters could have been Shea, Giddey. Like you could keep your starters Shea, Giddey, Jalen Williams, and now just try to Chet and Daniel Gafford. I'm starting Gafford. Then look at your bench, how your bench would have looked. Then off the bench, you could have had Trae Jones, Tyrus Jones. I'm sorry. You could have Tyrus Jones. You could have Tyrus Jones, Lou Dort, Gordon Hayward, and the Williams guy, and the other Williams. I still would have probably signed got another big because I ain't too crazy about the other Williams, the other Jalen Williams. I ain't too crazy about him. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Still Kareem. Watch how the narrative change once we get to the Western Conference Finals. People will say our role was easy. Yeah, Lakers. Certain teams Lakers play well against, but OKC could have really put themselves and they still young enough. I would have done that. You give up a first round pick. Who cares? I gave him a first round pick. With that team there, they'd have been a real threat. Now you got Chet there with another big dude. Shit. And Jalen Williams. Yeah, Reg. What up, Too Tall? They definitely would have been better, Reg. Like you do that. And that trade was out there for them. You got Trae Jones backup, and then times when Giddy is playing shaky, you could have closed the game with Tyrus Jones and Shea Gildress. Now that give you now you get a better guard come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Because Lou Dort need to be out there starting lineup. They too small. It's in the playoffs, they're going to get exposed, and I guarantee you, watch next year, they're going to have two big guys they bring in. They're going to bring in two big guys where they could have did that at the deadline. You seen that at the deadline. Chet is in the playoffs, they're going to exploit that. Yeah. Caruso and Drummond would have been good. That definitely would have been good. Caruso and Drummond definitely would have been good. And Caruso could have exactly you could bring Caruso off the bench and then Drummond. That definitely would have worked. You could have did that both of them with a first round pick. That and maybe a second because you'd only had to get Patance on that. They need a big man. They need a big man. Yeah, you're right. They just sit on some of them picks. Because you think about it, where all them picks going? Where all them picks going? I know they play Carson Wallace right now, but they need size, man. You can clearly see that. They walk on the court like first thing. I'm tacking the basket all day. When Chet Holmgren go down, what other big man they got? And the other guy, the other Jalen Williams, he only 6'8", 6. He's not even that tall. He's not that good to me. He's not that good to me. I'd have got rid of him too. He's not that good. Yeah, no bigs. See, what make their team look a little big because they got nobody under starting like under 6'4". Because Luke Dort like 6'4", but he's a football player. Then you got he's thick. Jalen Williams like 6'5", 6'6". Trae, Giddy like 6'7". It's weird how they lineup is. Like they guards is pretty much bigger than their forwards. That's why their team look weird. Because you have Shea at 6'5", 6'6", and you have Giddy at maybe 6'6", 6'7". Then you got Luke Dort at 6'4", and Jalen Williams 6'5", 6'6". So they forwards is smaller than they guards. They forwards are smaller than they guards. Exactly. Check go down. It's easy picking. Maholy King, what up? KJ, Tony, what up? Let's get the lights up. No, they're not gonna get far. They're not gonna get far. You look at that game, and I understand they was on a back-to-back game, but I've been saying that you're not in the playoffs. You could get exposed. They can attack your joint. Yeah, but that it's not gonna work in the playoffs. Cause see, it's not gonna work. They don't have not one great rebounder. Let's start there. They don't have not one great rebounder. When you do stuff like that, a small, okay, they doing positionless and do all them gimmicks and stuff. At the end of the day, you got to have a specialist. They has no great rebounder. A guy when you have a great rebounder or a great defender, when you say great, this is what great means. Great means you is yourself and you covering for somebody else. A great defender is like having one great defender is like having two defenders out there. A great rebounder is like having he covering for two people. That's what you call a great rebounder. A guy that, yeah, the rest of your lineup ain't all that, but he's so good. He gonna cover a lot of ground. He gonna cover a lot of ground. That's what you call a great rebounder. You know, he's that good. Your lineup, you look at your lineup, or the rest of the four guys not that good, but you know what? He's so much of a good rebounder. Your team, at the end of the day, you look at the stats, it won't look like they're a weak rebounding team. He covered that much ground. Like a defender. Some defenders so good, it covers grounds. Let's say your perimeter. You got your perimeter where you got the 1, 2, and 3. Let's say one of them is great and the other two is weak. That one great one is covering up all the mistakes of the other two that's weak. That's what you call someone's great at something. Same thing scoring. Like you looked at teams like Philadelphia when they had Iverson. You had you had guys like the rest of them guys. They Iverson dropped him 35. He was like kind of covering the load for two players. Yeah, it's a Harry Giles and Woods. I like that. And Hayes. I like the length of our team. I love it. Messenger, what up? Empire Jefferson in the building. Adam, my holy king. Yeah. Like you did that, you trade your piece and Davis Bertans where for Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward was gonna get brought out anyway. You could have got him in the buyout market. I don't understand that. You could have still got Gordon Hayward. That's why I said a lot of these teams, these general managers, they don't know what they're doing. They jump the gun and try to get cute, and it always backfire on them. Same thing with the Celtics. For years, Celtics had all them picks like years ago. They wasn't using them. Wasn't using them. Some of the picks just went to waste. They had all that picks. A lot of that stuff just went to waste. A lot of their picks. Tony Ron, what up? You know what I'm saying? That's the issue right there. These GMs, that's just why it frustrates me because I'm like, how you not see that? You got a chance. The NBA is a long season, and you have to look at. You got a chance. You one of the top seeded teams in the NBA. You got trade assets up the ass. You got you got players. You got good contract. You was in a way better trade position than the Denver Nuggets. Think about it. The Denver Nuggets hands were strapped. You was a number one seed, number two seed, top two seeds in the NBA, and you had tradable guys. You had Batons 17, 18 million. You got Kendrick Williams, his 7 million. Then you got yeah, Kendrick Williams. You had it. You have Davis Batons. Like, come on. He said, okay, see, if they need to upgrade, they had a chance to upgrade. They had a chance to upgrade. They had the chance, and now was the time to go for it. You go for it because you didn't have much to lose. You could have kept your main guys, the Chet, the Shays, the Giddies, the Jalen Williams, the Carson Wallace, the Lou Dort. You could have kept your main guys and still had you had guys. You had Kendrick Williams. You could have traded his $6 million. Pozeski his $6 million. Batons like 18 million. You had guys you could move. You had expiring contracts. You had decent contract that's low was in Man. You got rid of Man, who's a young player that I always like Terrence Mann. I mean not Terrence Mann, Trae Man. I want the Lakers to draft him, man. Eric both like to trade Man when he's come out the draft. I want the Lakers to draft him. I think he's a good guard. But you could have packaged him with a guy like the other Rob Pelinka got this. He said Rob Pelinka still learning the job. Rob Pelinka is a good GM. Oh, he said Dennis said he heard that Hayward was refusing to get brought out because of the new rule. He wouldn't be able to get several go to several teams. I don't know. I ain't hear about that one. He said like Rob Dillingham. Tony Laker fan saying that's cap. I don't know. What's good? He said Palinka's solid. Stop falling for them. Exactly. Palinka definitely a good GM. Um he said, Jeff, what you think of OKC waiting to make a move this summer? That's not true. He was hoping to get brought out, but he wasn't choosing OKC. He wanted to go to the Lakers and Knicks. Well, that's my thing. I'm not trading Davis Bertans and some contracts, my expiring contract, for a position you really didn't need, and you ain't even giving him no minutes. You're not really giving him no minutes. You're not really giving him no minutes. You did that, trade your tradable piece for a guy you ain't even giving him no minutes. I don't get that. A lot of these teams they always find their way to get too cute, man, and mess up. Same thing like Minnesota. I think Minnesota, they got a good team. They playing well now, but I just don't trust Conley. Conley, like he could break down any minute. And you don't have no real backup. They playing well now, but I think they'd have kept that team together. I think they'd have been way better. They had less holes. I think if they'd have kept that team, they'd have been much better now. Gobert, don't get me wrong, he helps out tremendous. But you had Vanderbilt, you had Beasley, you had Pat Bev, you had D'Lo. Who in the building? Who in the building? He said that was Magic. Magic ain't do no work. They just got Monte Morris. Minnesota would have been more better team. I think there's a little more balance. Don't get me wrong. Rudy Gobert cover a lot of grounds for them. Jeff said they fought for the. Red say tired of him about the 2020 team. If the slipper's gonna slip. Marlon Dillon was good. But ain't a good GM. But I just think sometimes some of these teams they make some mistakes, like obvious mistakes, and sometimes don't be aggressive when it need to be. Yeah, yeah. Get the likes up, people. He said the Lakers. Yeah, Lakers is kind of up and down. There is. There is kind of like up and down, man. That's the thing. Celtics looking good. I can't front. See, like the Celtics. Now, let me tell you this. With the Celtics now, right? They kind of made mistakes too now. The Celtics made mistakes too. And mistakes the Celtics made, they had a lot when they had Danny Ainge in them, right? When they had Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, and all them guys there, and they had got cap space when Gordon Hayward and Kyrie, and they had picks. They could have made a lot of moves. They held their hand too long too. They held their hand too long. You already showed Tatum and Brown showed early they was them guys. They showed early they was them guys. Tatum and Brown. So once you get two guys that you already could see that's the key. OKC, I kind of understand a little, right? But you could have made move without disturbing anything. I think OKC looking at it this. They got one full-fledged guy in Shea. Chet is going to be good, but Chet is good. But Chet and Williams, they like they like two guys you wouldn't want near one of them as your second best player. Chet Holmgren or Jalen Williams. You don't want near one of them as your second guy. So now if those guys slide the third and fourth best player, and you had them add them with get a guy that's better than them, you in great position. So I know OKC probably thinking that going into the offseason. We get a one more player to go with Shea and have Chet and Jalen Williams, where it won't affect them much. We in business. So I guess they want to keep all their assets, but you think about it, you could have still did it. You got a million picks. Brown, Drew Holiday 6'3" and Brown 6'6". Jalen Brown 6'6", Drew Holiday 6'3". You know what I'm saying? Well, you guys going back and forth arguing, I see. But the Celtics definitely got a crazy starting lineup. They definitely do. Celtics got a good team. You can't take that from them. They looking good right now. They looking good. But my thing is this. Yeah. Miami ain't beating the Celtics in the playoffs. They not this year. That Porzingis is a big difference. All that people saying, oh, this that, it's over for Miami. They not beating no Boston. Miami not beat. Only team I see beating Boston is Milwaukee. Milwaukee, the only team in the East I see beating them. The only team. We'll see if he show up in the playoffs. We're gonna see if he show up. But the bottom line is, I think he gonna be even as he gonna be better than what they had last year. He better than Robert Williams. Nah, then Jimmy Butler, nah. They run us over. It's over for Heat. Now I'm not sleeping on them, but they not beating the Celtics. I don't see them on the Celtics level. I definitely don't see them beating the Celtics this year. I don't see them at all beating the Celtics this year. Yeah, Porzingis gonna be good. You got that big dude in the back line. Shit. You said Celtics overrated. I don't see the Celtics. I'm not saying they're going, but I'm saying only team I see beating them is Milwaukee. Milwaukee got it. They got the size. They got the star power that could combat they offense. They, I could see the Celtics. I mean, I can see Milwaukee. He said nobody beating the Celtics in the East. To me, they favorite, but what I'm saying is Milwaukee, the only team I think got a legitimate chance. I think Milwaukee, the only team got a legitimate chance. Yeah, that definitely is a good move, Reg. That definitely Lakers. That was definitely a good move the Lakers did last year. That was definitely a good move they did last year. Anybody want to pull up? Y'all could pull up. I'm dropping the link. StreamYard's back. Y'all want to pull up? I'm dropping the link. I ain't gonna lie. This year is tricky, man. This year is real tricky. It's tricky. Like I said, no, it's really Denver playing good now, and but they got weakness. It's nobody super strong. He said he on my home if the Celtics don't make it. I hope they don't make it. So to be honest, that I will be happy. Shit. I'll be happy. I'll take them blows. I'll take them blows. I would definitely take them blows right there if the Celtics don't go to the finals. I'll be so happy. Long Celtics and Clippers, I'm happy. Let's get the lights up, y'all. Anybody want to pull up, y'all can pull up. They gave Celtics versus Clippers. See, Knicks, them injuries caught up with the Knicks. I like that the Knicks momentum. Julius Randle got hurt. They made a good trade at the deadline, get Bogdanovich. Now Brunson hurt. It just the B got hurt. Philly had good momentum. They was going to make a move for a star player, then they backed off. See, a lot of teams wait until the summer because the biggest name was DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray. He was the big dog in the yeah, it's recovery time, but I think rhythm, certain people, I think it takes more time. Like a team like the Knicks, I think it take a lot more time. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm the Spurs, I'm going all out. I'm going all out this year to try to this summer. I'm trying to win now. I'm getting rid of all that dead weight. I'm the Spurs. I'm getting rid of all that dead weight. I'm trading Keldon Johnson. I keep Sohan. I keep Sohan. I trade Keldon Johnson. I trade. I might trade Vassell. I might trade Devin Vassell. I might trade Devin. That Victor, and y'all could go back and look at my video. The guys who rock with me know how I've been carried when it comes to him. I've been saying I think they gonna see what they was doing early in the year. Spurs, they was going nut on Victor. Victor was only taking like 10 shots. They was going nut, wasn't passing the ball. You look at the beginning of the season, Vassell, all of them, Sohan, Johnson, they all was going nut. Now it seems like they giving him the ball more. You know what I think happened? I think Popovich probably tell him, give him the ball. Somebody in that organization flipped and said, "Yo, this guy's a beast, man. He covers so much ground. I'm building everything around him. I'm a player. If they get Trae Young, that's a major start right there. Because if they get Trae Young somehow, they're going to dominate. They're going to dominate. Because a guy like Trae Young and Victor, those two, and then all you need is comparable role players. Don't try to get no big three. That'd be a mistake you make. You try to bring in another big time scorer or another like all-star, superstar level player, that'd be a big mistake. Try to win now while Victor on that rookie contract. Try to build the team right now while Victor is on that uh, rookie contract. That's the mistake a lot of teams make. They wait a little too long. Yes, you want to rebuild, but once you see, hold up, you got that guy, and you have to start moving in. Now, if you're a team and your best player, your prize rookie, his progress is slow, then you'd be like, all right, cool. Like they'd be like teams. It takes about 3 or 4 teams be going rebuild for like 4 years. They go into like 4 lotteries. You notice that most teams they're going about 4 years and they get like 4 lottery players, and then that 5th year, that's when they feel like, it's time to because rebuild. They normally say rebuild 3 to 4 years, and then that 5th year, you go for like now you the rebuild is over, and now you go for the playoffs and move from there. Like when teams tear it down, you start from scratch. It's normally about 3 to 4, like really 4 drafts, because you figure you getting lottery picks. You can figure out of the 4, if you got 4 lottery picks, you expect at least 2 of them to pop. You know what I mean? If you get all 4 pop, you're shit good. So that's what happened with OKC with Kevin Durant and Harden and Westbrook. They happen to pop with all of them and Ibaka. They happen to pop back to back, back to back, back to back. They hit heavy with Durant. Durant was like a can't miss. So you had a can't miss already in Durant. Then Westbrook was way better than people thought. Then Harden came, so now, and they all produced it early. So now that's why I said the similar with OKC now. OKC, you traded for Shea. You see, okay, Shea is that guy. Jalen Williams is good. Like he's real good. And then you got Chet. Chet was the second pick. He hit heavy. That's why I kind of, to be honest, I blame OKC, and you guys know it. I said it last year, if y'all remember. I said if I'm OKC, I'm tanking. They supposed to tank last year because you know how OKC supposed to tank? You knew Shea was on a fresh contract. Shea was like that. Then Jalen Williams, you could see, he's good. You could see he definitely was going to at least be a good starter. You saw that last year with Jalen Williams, right? And then Chet Holmgren got hurt. He out all year. That was the perfect time for them to tank. And I said it last year. I said, yo, if I'm OKC, I'm trying to tank. I'm trying to tank and get Victor. I ain't with all that tanking, but a guy like Victor, you saw that firsthand. He was worth tanking for. Sometimes you have to, like, yeah, I agree. Memphis, definitely Memphis. You got Durant. I mean, John Morant. All your guys is out, and you already got big. Oh man, let me get to Memphis, man. See, this is what I like. I like to talk about a lot of different teams. It's not just the Lakers, man. I could really go in on teams. Now, you got Memphis. Memphis, if they smart, but I think they is tanking, but I don't know what's is up. They winning some games they shouldn't be winning. But Memphis, this is the perfect time. Perfect time. You got Morant out. You got Baines out. You got Marcus Smart out, right? So you have to look at it like this about Memphis. You're not going to get a cheap talent come in, even though the draft ain't as deep now. But let's say this: the draft don't have to be as deep. But let's say if you end up with a top 3 pick, I don't care how weak they say this draft is. You get a top 3 pick and you trade it, you're gonna have teams want that pick. And I believe you got 3 good players in this draft. I believe that. I believe that. I believe you got 3 good players in this draft. At least 3 good players in this draft. So if Memphis tank and they was to get the top 3, now you got options. Now you got options. Now you can attach that 3rd pick, that young player, with one of the guys that you got on the team. Maybe a Brandon Clark. And see, the reason why Memphis definitely needs a tank. You not like a team that's you not like a team like the Spurs who got a bunch of guys who he ain't making no money. Where you pretty much starting from scratch. You not that. You got superstar player that's out, and you got a good guy in Baines and Marcus Smart. You got guys who making big money that's out. Once they come back, you won't have the movability to make that many moves now. You have big salaries. Look at their books. That guys who make money on their team. You got John Moran, Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart, and Jaren Jackson Jr. That's 4 players that making like damn near 20 and more. That's like $100 million in salary between four players. That's $100 million in salary with 4 players, and you could get a cheap talent. Let's say if you end up with the number 1 pick or a pick that's top 3, a real good player you may get or you could trade. Why not do it? Why play hard and mess around and get like the 8th pick? And it's not even a deep draft. You know you're not going nowhere. You're not really trying to go nowhere. You don't really have no real high-end young players that you're highlighting right now. But really, like G.G. Jackson is a guy that he played good. You be like, all right, I could just throw him in my rotation for next year. Luke Kennard's going to be a free agent. Luke Kennard going to be a free agent. So my thing is this. This is why I don't understand with teams. Steven Adams got traded. He played with Houston. You know what I'm saying? He played with Houston. You know what I'm saying? See, this is the mistake a lot of teams make, man. Like certain teams in certain situations, if I was OKC, the minute Chet went out all year, you look at that team, you be like, best case scenario, this last year I'm talking, we 8th seed. That was the time to tank. OKC, you got when you have clear cut, like great players in the draft, like a Shaq, a clear cut number 1 picks, the Shaqs, the Zions, the guys like that, the clear cut number 1s where nobody going number 1. Like he's guaranteed number 1 pick. Where everybody know it. You supposed to tank. See the difference with you saying Houston should tank. The thing with Houston, they already made a commitment to have money players. They signed Fred Van Vliet for over 100, and they gave Dylan Brooks 80. So they situation different. They situation different. My thing is if I was had OKC, I'm like, oh my God, look what we got. If we get top three, I could even have get a guy like School Henderson, or if you'd end up with School, you could trade him, a Brandon Miller or Victor. You can imagine OKC have Victor and Chet Holmgren. You can imagine. It could easily happen. It could easily happen. You can imagine if they'd got if they'd got end up getting number one pick and had Victor, or they'd end up with Brandon Miller. That was a year you tank. Now this year, like if you don't want to tank this year, okay, cool. But last year, when you had Victor and Scoop, at the time, nobody really. Brandon Miller became a player more like in December. You know, in December he was that guy, but you could have started tanking in December. You ain't had to tank from the start. You could have tanked from December. Everybody knew Brandon Miller was gonna be that guy. It was the three. It was the three guys that they were saying that's going to be pretty much can't miss. And you could have easily played Chet and Victor together. They could easily play together. It's not like they're gonna be in each other away. You can imagine. You talk about Twin Towers, they blocking everything down there. Okay, see the won championship this year. They'll be champs this year. If they got a comparable guard who could give Victor the ball. You can imagine a lineup with Victor, Chet, um, Jalen Williams, Giddy, and Shea. You can imagine that? That would have been crazy, but it could easily happen. Like that's why I said teams just do backward stuff. They tank when teams obviously do. That was a year. I don't care. And I said that y'all can go back look at my videos. The minute I said when I was doing my Victor videos, I said if this I'm a team. I don't care. I'm tanking. If I'm not a team, and I'm looking at my team, and I'll be like, oh, we got a good shot being good. But teams like OKC should have tanked. Um, Utah, like certain teams, you look at look at your team, you be like, nah. Yep. Look what my boy said. He said, I did said, yeah, I was saying that. And that's why I bet my son. I told him. I told him. I told him. I said, yo, Victor is gonna be the shit. He said, what about Philly? No, I don't let me make sure Philly tank now. They saying the B coming back. See, this year draft, I don't I ain't taking for this year draft. But last year draft, everybody named Mother, oh my God, Victor. Everybody, they've been saying that. This year draft, ain't nothing to go crazy about. Now, don't get me wrong. Like teams right now, like if I'm the Spurs, I'm it's kind of worth it now. Like, cause now you got the guy. I like him. Alex Starr. How he's solid. He definitely needs to go to the right team. The guy Alex Starr, he need to go to the right team. But his upside not like no Victor. He wasn't no Chet Holmgren. Certain things like you look at like who gonna put you in position. And you want it, and the best time to win is when your good players, when you get a rookie that jumps out the gate good, y'all don't know how much that's a blessing. When guys like be good, they rookie year coming averaging like 18 points and they good right away. Now it's time you like, oh my God, I got a guy like this, like for instance, what Victor doing now, if I'm the Spurs, you scratch that 3-year, 4-year plan. You scratch it. At the end of the season, forget all that putting God. Go now. The team, the difference is the league is younger anyway. The league is young. It's not like it's gonna be young guys that before it's like if you got a young guy that's 20 years old, you don't want to pay him. Like let's say you got a young all-star type player at 20, right? Like back in the days, and you're like, oh, we're gonna try to get him a all-star player. Back then, that all-star player was gonna be 30, 31 years old. So it's like, damn, you got a 20-year-old you pairing with a 31, they timeline different. Nowadays, it's not like that. Now you got guys like Trae Young. Trae Young is only 20 what, 24, 25. Like you got guys like that. A Zion, not saying Zion gonna trade it, but a Zion. Look at most of the guys now. You be like, it's not really the old guys now. Let's say guys like Donovan Mitchell, these guys still in their 20s. They still relatively young. The Zions, let's say a Brandon Ingram. Like you got guys now young. Yeah, trade 25. So it's not like you pairing them like back in the days when you got the guys that teams was looking to trade the guys that's 31, 32 years old. Now you can get guys in their 20s. I'm moving heaven and earth with the Spurs. If I'm telling you, if Trae Young and Victor, you know how deadly that gonna be. Number one, you got a guy like Victor blocking everything. Then you got a guy like Trae who clutch. He getting you points and he dropping dimes. He getting you points and he dropping dimes, and he's aggressive offensively. And all you need from there is comparable role players. You don't need no more chuckers. You don't need no chuckers. You need them to be your best two players, Trae Young and Victor. And let's say you can imagine draft like an Alex Starr. If they end up getting like the first or second pick, whatever, and getting Alex Starr. Now you got two big men down there. Now you hide and Trae Young some. Then you got the Sohan at the 3. Now at the 2, you find a good 2 guard, a veteran 2 guard that's good. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of guys that play the 2 that's good that you can get. Some teams got a lot of guys that's on a team that play the same position. You in good shape. You in good shape. And build your bench with good role players. Cause now you could easily you don't get when if Trae Young go there, teams gonna jump on the bandwagon. See, the only thing would kind of hurt. Popovich is cool and everything, but he kind of like a taskmaster with some players. And see, it kind of cripples him. See, I think we're gonna hurt Victor, to be honest, the team he's on, the Spurs. You could be on the losing team, it could work for you and against you. Because the Spurs got this Spurs way. It got to be like a certain way, and certain players might be turned off of that. I'm meaning like free agents. I'm talking about like free agents. Like nah, they wouldn't mind playing with Trae Young or Victor, but then they'd be like, it's Pop. I don't know. Some players ain't be ready, especially in today's NBA. They might not be ready for that. Cause Pop is like a taskmaster. It's a kind of weird little thing. And you can imagine get a good 2 guard to play in the backcourt with Trae. Reason why I ain't say Vassell, because if you trade for Trae Young, mind you, Trae Young not a free agent. If you notice, I saw to get Trae Young. Vassell definitely going to be in that trade. Vassell and Johnson. Those two easy going to be in the trade. Nah, I wouldn't want. You don't want no backcourt, no Donovan, and that wouldn't work well for Victor. You said you'll go for Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell. It wouldn't work well for Victor. That man wouldn't be getting the ball, man. You want it where his growth not being stopped. You want it where he could be dominant, getting 25 shots a game. You want that. He getting 20 shots a game. You want that. You don't want nobody to compromise that. I'm not getting both of them. I wouldn't even want Donovan. Trae Young is more of the answer because Trae Young is the Spurs don't got no point guard. And they need he's a legit point guard. He's dropping dimes, alley oops, and everything to Victor, and he's aggressive offensively. Clutch. Donovan Mitchell is a two guard. I want if I'm them, or I got all eyes on Trae. We look at the whole landscape of the NBA, all eyes on Trae Young. Think about it. To pair anybody with Victor, he is the guy that you will want. Think about it. Who else you will want with Victor in the NBA? That's why it makes too much sense. I'm not doing a trade Young Donovan Mitchell. I'm sorry. And Vassell going to have to be in part of the deal. And sad to say, like they was to get, I know I said Alex Starr. If they was to get a top pick like that, that would have to be a part of the deal. That's why if I'm OKC, if I'm the Spurs, I'm tanking because let's say if you get the third pick, now you got the third plus Vassell for trading Young. Nobody beating that. A third pick and Devin Vassell because you ain't gonna need Devin Vassell. And then you could trade Keldon Johnson. No, I'm not. That's a kind of lot, Eric. That's a lot. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You giving away all your best outside of Victor. You giving away your third, fourth, your second, third, fourth best player. That's too much. And three firsts. That's way too much. Cause you think about it, them guys showed enough that they solid NBA players. Not like you giving them no scrubs. They all was first round picks, and they all they second, third, fourth best player. You got Victor, their best player, and then what you say? If Vassell is two, and Keldon Johnson may be a third best player, and Sohan they fourth, and three first round picks. No, I'm not doing that for Trae Young. I'm not doing that. Three first rounds is a lot. That's why I said it depends where they pick this year. Let's say now you know the numbers, not no just you drafting it could be the 14th pick. Now you see the number. I'm not doing it. He ain't working on six players. Cause now you giving up all your depth. You have nothing, but now you only got them two. Cause now you're giving up three first round picks. That means you're giving up a pick in this year draft. I think you got multiple draft picks, but I'm not doing it. He said Spurs are top 5 pick this year. Yeah, but that's a lot for Trae Young. That a package like that. If Luca start complaining, that's when you Luca start complaining and Luca wants out. You go at a package like that to Dallas for Luca. Three first, they first, nah. That's a Luca Doncic type package. Luca wants out. You do that. That means because you showing the team right there. You're not giving your first best player, but everybody else you giving up. That's a lot. Because if I'm be honest, if I'm giving up 3 first round picks, I'm only giving up one of them and somebody else. King David was good. Yeah, I'll do it for that. For Trae Young, I'll give you 3 picks and Vizelle. Because see, Vizelle makes the money. Sohan ain't getting no money yet. If I'm doing 3 picks, I'm starting there. I'm not giving up all 3 of them. You're gonna have to be more than D'Lo for a superstar. Yeah, it's gonna be more than D'Lo. Mind you, Lakers gonna have competition. See, that's what people not saying. See, people like, Lakers gonna trade D'Lo and get a star. They gonna have to pay heavy if they think they don't get Trae Young or Donovan Mitchell. And they think, all right, it's just starting with D'Lo. They sadly mistaken. They're like, yeah, but they got 3 first round picks. They ain't gonna mean nothing because you're gonna have look at a team like OKC. If OKC didn't do nothing at this draft, that means they want to go big game hunting. So other teams gonna be willing to do at least at least 3 o'clock. Well, OKC want to pair Shea with Trae. I don't think that'd be a good pairing. Shea, but Shea, yeah, get out of Shea way. You know, the guy's bird rights. We said D'Lo, Rui, and 2 firsts for Kyrie. We already know we dealing with Mark Cuban. See, y'all have to look at who you dealing with. Mark Cuban ain't going for that. Mark Cuban is not going for that. Y'all think Mark Cuban go for Kyrie going to the Lakers? We're gonna make it hard as possible. Yeah, Mark Cuban. If they trade with the Lakers, it'd be more like role player swap. It's gonna be more of a role player swap. Like his best player that he don't want to go, he not gonna do it. Yep. Yeah, Prince gonna be a free agent. Yeah, so yeah, I may come back on live later. Thanks for everybody for pulling up. I hit y'all guys back.